because if your values are not aligned, then you'll find that there are stark differences which will not make the relationship last very long.
Yeah, I think this is here. This is exactly the gel. I would say is a gel that hold things together, or the glue that hold things together. Values are there, and if we talk about values, how do you simplify the fact that what are values? Like for me, I do have a process to kind of gauge what are the values that we share. Sometimes we do argue ourselves, right? And that's, I mean, from your perspective, what are values to you?
Values to me, it really depends on what you value most in life, even in relationships. But before you talk about relationship, I think it's most important to think about the values that you value on your own as an individual first, because that is what sets the the journey of you and your significant other together. Because we come together as a whole person, as an individual. It's not half half. People say that where's your other half? Things like that. People will ask you, hey, where's your other half? The truth is, you do not go out and find your other half to complete you. You have to be complete in order for you to go out and find your other complete person, right? So two-person coming together, there needs to be some alignment of values, and these values can be things relating to how you even how you even take care of yourself, your health, like how well do you value your health, your well-being, your mental state, your personal improvement. What you value. Do you value your personal growth more, or do you value play more, or do you value video games more? There are a lot of things that you value in life, and when you find your so-called other half, okay, another person, and you happen to be getting to know, you will realize that, hey, either there is synchronicity or there are differences, in a sense that when you come together, you get to know each other, and through the communication you realize, oh, I'm at a certain level, she's at a certain level already. So the differences, whether how big or small, it's going to determine your relationship success. I'm not sure what you think about that.
That's definitely true. I mean, let's just, these are two different souls altogether. I mean, let's put it this way, right? Two
Yeah.
individuals, two souls coming as one. I wouldn't say it coming as one. It is two souls complementing each other. And does it mean they have to come off opposite, or does it have to come along? So we spoke about this before. It's about law of attraction. You attract what you are, right? So sharing the same values is so important. That is like example, if I like instant gratification, generally I like to play with video games, example, right? Perhaps you value more of the time that we want to spend more together, like quality time together. Imagine that when we're spending time together, it's like, hold it, let me finish this game first. And we only have that much of hours together. Right now we are in a long distance relationship, and when we meet, it is really limited time for us. it's it just spells disaster there, right? So it's about those values. Like if you value your time, what are the things that you do with your time when you're with each other? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be like stuck together all the time. I would say it's more about being present when you do have the time that you want to be present with each other. That is a value, a common value there. And I think there's we have quarreled, we have disagreements, and we agreed to disagree. That's the most important. And we want to know that every time we have disagreement, is it really a conversation to understand each other more, or is it really wanting to be right on our part, right? We have our logical reasoning to everything, but come to think about it, sometimes is it worth it to just win the argument at the end of the day? Yeah, or is something that, oh, I don't get it why you think the way you do, and it is vice versa, you don't get what I mean. And that is usually the cause of misunderstandings, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, talking about misunderstanding, there will be misunderstanding. I mean, when when you talk about astrology, right? Mercury goes retrograde every 3 to 4 times a year. So during this period of time, what happens is that people tend to miscommunicate, and people tend to experience what we call, um, you know, transmission error in communication, and through our mobile device, or even through face-to-face conversation. So it's very normal to be mistaken or misunderstood, or misunderstand your significant other. But it's not the thing that you're quarreling. It's not the what. It's always about the why, and it's also the how. It's how you know discuss and talk things over,
Mm,
and it's the way you say it. and I kind of agree with you. It's the way you say it, the how you say it, and not exactly what you're fighting over. I mean, even small little things like the toothpaste thing. Yeah, where do you squeeze the toothpaste? I mean, I'm the guy who will squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom, right, from the bottom up, because I like to be neat, right? But I noticed that you don't. And therefore I tried not to start a fight on that. But I kind of understand that, hey, we're two different individuals, and I try to let live, you know what I mean? So
Small
so
things.
yeah, this is like
Yeah.
one example on how and when to not start a fight. Because if you want to start a fight, it's got to be some purposeful fight.
I would say I didn't even realize it until today. Now we're having this
Come to
discussion.
think of it, that was what
That
happened.
actually,
Yeah,
that actually kind of triggers you.
yeah, I guess yeah, that's just a little bit. I'm like, hey, I'm just calling you out at the time. I was like, hey, I thought you're squeezing from the bottom, but actually, hey, I squeezed from the bottom. I didn't know that you squeezed from the middle part. I think that's a very interesting finding that I realized.